So now I just cleared up, and then this has been chilling for some time to just firm it up a bit. And now then I have the ganache. I just microwaved it a bit, so spreading would be quite easy. So this is the consistency I'm just looking at. Okay, and I'm just going to go on. I'm going to use the silicone spatula itself, so it will just help spread it out quite easy. First a thin layer, let's just seal the cake. Let's just finish the bigger surface areas with the ganache, and then let me go into the intricate parts. So I think the first goal is to cover up all the cake surface and you just don't see the cake at all. And the next step is when we need to add more ganache and then smooth it out as well. This is thicker layer. I'm trying to fix up the dents or ups and downs if any to just make the surface like quite smooth. It's easier to spread the ganache like this, but obviously to smoothen it out it needs to firm up, but we just make one layer of the final shape we're just looking at, and then to smoothen out and get rid of all these spatula marks, we just will set it up in the fridge, and then it will become easier to smooth out and then have a perfect finish of ganache, because irrespective of what shape your cake is, whether it is a round, a square, the ganache or the cream could also be buttercream that you're applying on the top of the cake. It needs to be like clean finish before we go on with the fondant. We'll turn around to check if the shape is good. So now this ganache has to set, and it is slowly setting because the cake is firm and cold in the inside. And however, I just want the ganache here on the outside also to set some more. So it will help me to smooth out the spatula marks, and that I will also need some hot water. So let me just put this into the freezer for about half an hour and then grab some hot water in a bowl, and I'll get back to show you how I'm going to finish this ganache surface on the outside of the handbag and make it super smooth. So we could just go on with the fondant in the next lesson, but now I just come back after putting this into the freezer and I'll just get back in that part. So the cake and the ganache is like quite frozen, it doesn't stick. Just taken it out of the freezer. I also have some extra ganache, so I'm just going to first smooth out to check if the spatula marks could go. I also have some water, like hot water it is. I'm just going to dip the spatula into the hot water, and because it is frozen, right, we just need to put some pressure, and once the water from the spatula is gone and then it kind of dry scrapes the ganache, then you put the the spatula back into the water. And places like this where you find the dent, just pick up some ganache, just a little bit, okay, and then apply it on the dents. I'm just going to keep the ganache here, so every time I'm just going to pick up some ganache and close the dents, and right on top of that you could also use the spatula, which is I just wanted to have better control, so I'm using one of the palette knives to go on work like a spatula. Just picking some ganache. And then heat it up. So goal is to remove the dents and remove the silicone spatula marks that was left before placing it in the freezer. Just cleared up most of the silicone spatula marks, and then I'm just going to start using my fingers. I'm just going to dip my hands into the warm water, and then just by keeping my hand wet, I just need to go run my fingers over the ganache surface and just remove the spatula marks. I don't want the ganache also to be like too soft at this stage, or just going to start seeing the textures out there. And if it doesn't smooth out really well, then at this stage you could again freeze it up for about 10-15 minutes, and then again you could do the hot water dipped finger and rubbing around to see if major dents are there, and places where you're unable to just smooth out using the spatula, you just get the finger in. Just going to look for any bigger dents. It looks smooth now. I'm just going to set this into the freezer for about an hour for the entire thing to get cold and firm. And if it is just there in the freezer for about an hour, then we could just drape it right away. But if it is going to be in the fridge, like if you want to keep it in the refrigerator for a longer period of time, then don't put it in the freezer. Keep it in the fridge and allow it to firm up fully. And again, before draping, you can just take it out of the fridge and then leave it under AC for about 4 hours. So the condensation all goes out, and then we will be ready for draping. So let me just clean up and then firm this ganache, and then get back into the lesson where I will show you how to drape the handbag cake.